Hello friends, my name is Avinash. This is a video series on SQL on Snowflake. If you do not have a Snowflake account already in place, please watch my video on creating Snowflake account for free. I have given the link in description of this video. Now in this video, you will learn uh, how and when the where clause is used and the operators that we usually use with the where clause. Before we go ahead, let's try to understand what is the syntax for where clause. In order to write a SQL query with where clause, we basically need to specify select, and then we specify the column names. Then we specify the table name from table name. Then we have to specify the where condition. Now let's go ahead and see it practically. Now I have some queries written so that I can save time to type it. So as per the syntax, we have to specify the column names that we have to get in the result set. If you don't have specific column names, you can straight away go ahead and put star. Then we have to specify the table name, and then here goes the where condition. Now with where condition, we use one of the operator, one or multiple many operator that are listed here. So the operator can be is equal to or less than, greater than, less than is equal to, greater than is equal to, not equal to, between, like, in, and, or, and not. So the operator can be one operator, or there can be multiple operators in where clause. Now, where clause is basically helping us to filter out the records. Now we may be in need that we don't need all the records from the table, and we are looking for some specific records. So therein we have to specify the where condition. So where condition talks about which particular records you are interested in. So in as per this query, it will select student ID, then student name. We are providing ls as first name to student underscore f name. Then we are also selecting student underscore L name, and we're giving ls as last name, and we are also fetching the department ID, that is DEPT ID. From the table student, that is from the dev.db, and schema is college underscore data. Now this query will fetch all the data based on the columns that we have provided in the select, and it will give us the records where the department ID is matching with 20. So department, wherever the department ID is 20, it will give us those records. Okay, so the query is executed, and let me just expand it so that you can clearly see that the result set contains only records from the department ID, that is 20. We don't have any other record. It is totally for the department ID is 20. Now here in this condition, we have specified DPT ID as 20, and this is a numeric value. What if you have to specify, say, some string value? Let's try to get, let's say we will try to get the city, where the city is Pune. So whenever you have to specify some categorical value or string value, you have to put that value in the single quote. Now this query will give us result where the city is Pune. It will not contain any other record. It will be only for city is equal to Pune. Now this is very simple thing, like that we're just putting where clause, and we're using here we are using operator, that is equal to. Now let's try to use some other operators, and let's see how it works. So we have seen is equal to. Let's try to get some records by using greater than operator. So let's try to get records where student ID is greater than let's say 70. We have 77 records in students table. So we will fetch records wherein the student ID is greater than 70. So if I execute it, it is giving me records where the student ID is greater than 70. It is not containing a record with student ID is 70, but it will contain all the records which where the student ID is more than 70. Now, similar to this, we can also use less than. Let me fetch the records where student ID is less than 5. So it should give us 4 records starting from student ID 1 to 4. Now, what if you are interested to get 5 as well? So you want to get student records wherein student ID is less than is equal to 5. So the condition that you have to specify is like this. You have to specify where student ID is less than is equal to 5. So it will give us record starting from 1 till 5. It will contain a record with student ID as 5 as well. Similar to this, we can fetch 70 and records where student ID is more than 70. So the condition would be student ID where student ID is greater than is equal to 70. So this will give us records where student ID is 70 and more than 70 as well. Now the next operator is not equal to. So for that, let's try to fetch some records from DEPT table. So let's start from, let me put the table name properly. Now, if I execute everything, if I select all the records from a DEPT table, we are having 5 records with DEPT ID 10, 20, 30, 40, and 50. Now, if we want to get records where the student ID is not equal to 10, I want all the records, but not 10, where the DEPT ID is 10. So in that case, you can use not equal to. So that will be like DEPT ID not equal to 10. So this will give us 4 records with the DEPT ID as 20, 40, 30. Let me execute it. Okay, so this is giving us records with DEPT ID as 20, 30, 40, and 50, but it is not giving us 10. So this is how you can use the not equal to operator. Now let's try to understand the between. Now to where in some cases you may be interested to get records where the you have to specify some range, like you want the records for student ID starting from 10 to 15. So in that case, you can specify student ID between 10 and 15. Now this will give us record for student ID 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So here we are specifying range that is from 10 to 15. So we are getting records from 10 to 15. And the record result set will contain records with student ID as 10 and 15 as well. Now there is one or there are other operators as well, but let's try to look let's try to look at like operator. So let me try to fetch say select distinct city from the student table where city like. Now like is basically a operator which is used for pattern matching. So here we have to specify pattern. Now we will be fetching records where the city name starts with P. So you have to specify first character as P, and then to specify any number of other characters, you can specify percentile character. So this will give us the city name where the city name starts with P. So the first character should be P, and then it can be anything after that. And again, here I'm selecting distinct city, so it will give us distinct city names. So we have two cities where the city name starts with P, that is Pune and Poonch. Now let's try to understand the in operator. So let me again try to fetch, say, okay, I'll use this query where let me try to get records for states MH and AP. So state in, here we have to specify the list of list of values inside parenthesis. So MH and AP. So what will happen here is it will fetch all the records where the state is either MH or AP. Let me put state as well here so that we will get more idea. Now here you can see that we have 27 records wherein we have added clause where clause as state in MH and AP. So if you look at the state column, you can see only values MH or AP. There is no other value because we have added the where condition in that way. So like this, if you have multiple values to compare, then you can straight away go ahead and use the in clause wherein you can put multiple values here. Let me try to put GJ, that is Gujarat. Let me see, let's see if there is any state. Okay, yeah, there are some records from the state as GJ as well. Okay, now till now we were trying to use the where condition wherein we were specifying only one condition. What if you're in need and you need to specify more than one condition? So that is also possible, and that can be done by using and or operator. Okay, so let me show you how we can use that. So let's say same query, let me put it here. So instead of using in, we can specify it like this: state is equal to MH inside single quote, or state is equal to AP. So here we are specifying two conditions. Either give me records where the state is either AP or state is equal to MH. So we have specified two conditions by using or clause or operator. So again, we are getting records where the state is either MH and or AP. Now let's say suppose you want records from the state MH, but you want to restrict it for only Pune city. So if you just execute this query with state is equal to MH, you are getting all the records from MH, and we can see that there are multiple cities. Students are from multiple cities. The cities are Pune, Mumbai, then Okay, I think in this data set we have only added two cities. So the cities are Pune and Mumbai. So what if you want to restrict records only for the Pune city? So we can put and city is equal to Pune. So it should give us records for state is equal to MH and city is equal to Pune. Yeah, here you go. Now, similar to this, you can specify multiple conditions, like it can be a combination of and, or you can, if you have multiple conditions to specify and you want to specify precedence as well, which or in which order the where clause should be executed. In that case, you can also specify the it in the parenthesis. There is one more operator that is not. So if I execute this query, it is giving us a result for state in this one, MH, AP, and GJ. We can get records other than for state other than MH, AP, and GJ by putting not here. So state not in MH, AP, and GJ. So if I execute this, the record will the result set will contain all the records, but not from the state MH, AP, and GJ. So we have states JK, KL, MP, TN, but nowhere we can see that there is MH, AP, and GJ. Similarly, we can use not with here as well. Like in this case, if I put state, where state, okay, here we have to use not equal to, but yeah, we can use it with like as well. So let's try to put city, city. Like earlier we were using, we had used query where we had specified the city name starting with P. So, and it was giving us city names starting with only P. So, and that was Pune and Punch. What if we don't want to get city names where the city name is starting with P? So you can put not here, and it should give us records where the city name is starting with P. So you can see in the result set that we don't have the Pune and Poonch. We have other cities where no city is starting, no city name is starting with P. I think that's it for this video. I just wanted to cover where clause along with the operators that we use along with it. So thank you. If you have any questions, if you have any doubts, please comment in the comment section. Thank you.